Howdy Smith Performance Ute Builders. Quick discussion today about tie downs in the bed, and I'm going to try to cover a couple of options I've played with and a couple of different options for the different platforms. Let me start off with the easiest one, and that's the Jetta kits and Audi kits. My favorite tie downs for those is the rear door latches, because you get them with the car, right? And you're taking the back doors off. So you're going to end up with those, and they come with wonderful stainless steel screws already and a nice big backing plate. If you work your finger into the C-pillar there, you can work that thing back out, or you can just use the nuts. And by the way, these bolts are the same thread as the nuts supplied with the kit. So you can just bolt that in, and there you got tie downs. Now you get 2 of them, and I like to have at least 4 tie downs in my bed. And the reason that I say this is, well, sorry, I got off track there. So you can go to the junkyard and get another 2, and they'll charge you like $5, and they're nice stainless steel. So that's what I like to use in the Jetta kits and the Audi kits. I haven't done a charger kit, but I think it will work in the charger kit. Here's my reasoning of why I like to use these. In the kits that I mentioned, the inner fender well tapers back in on both ends. So you can put your tie downs up on the bed wall, and when you're sliding something in, it won't catch on it because it's already behind this surface of the inner fender liner. Now, I don't like this option for Beetles or the Jeep kit. Now, you could do this and do it in the forward bed wall. That's not a bad option, but I try to make as few holes through that forward bed wall as possible, just to keep down on the chances of leaks. But you could do that, and it would be recessed up under that, you know, if you did it down here at the base, it's sliding something in, it's not going to hit that anyway. So that's not a bad idea. Back here at the back, it's not too bad here. Because this is really the surface that if you're sliding a big box or something in, that's probably going to be out of the way. So it is possible on the other kits. The Beetle kit is flat on the inside, so the forward bed wall would work, but it wouldn't work so well in the back. It would work okay, it just would then be an obstacle if you're ever loading something. Now again, this ties directly to how you're going to use the truck. If you're never going to put anything in the bed, or it's just going to be a cooler or something, maybe tie downs aren't important to you. The funny thing is, I bring this up, well, so really my first tip is work out your tie downs before you put your quarter panels on, simply for the access of the back. I almost blew it today. I'm all ready to put my fiberglass panels on. Well, now I'm going to have to clean this again because I'm leaning on it, but and I remembered that I hadn't put tie downs in yet, so I almost messed that one up. Now the back isn't too bad because you can reach up from underneath and get access to the nut on the back side. But these front ones, you got to do it if you're doing it in the sidewalls. If you're doing it in the forward bed wall, you can do it whenever. Easier when the window's out so you can reach through. So here's another option. I've been using these little, it's kind of a D-ring. It's really triangle shaped. You know, you should put one bolt through. These are really cool, really inexpensive. The box of 12, I believe, was $15 on Amazon. And you can get them other places too. The problem with these, in my opinion, is driving down the road, it jingles and makes a noise. So here's my solution. Amazon packet of neodymium magnets. Works like a champ. They're strong enough that even through the bed wall, that hangs on and it won't rattle. So that's pretty cool. These magnets come with a little piece of double stick tape that matches the magnet. There you can see the magnet on the back. So you can just stick it right on. Now, if you want to work out a backing plate, a large washer will help. Again, it depends on, you know, are you going to put a ratchet strap on it or are you putting bungees on it? Makes a difference as to how big a backing plate you want to do. My favorite at least for one set, is where I cut out for speakers. So I save that, drill a hole. Now the problem you run into is if you put a big backing plate like that on it, right, and then you're gonna have it go through aluminum, so there'll be the bed wall and then the backing plate. Now your magnet might not be strong enough to hold it if you have 2 layers of aluminum, a 1/4 inch of aluminum there. So easy solution, bore a hole, oh excuse me, got the hiccups, bore a hole the size of the magnet, and that will give you extra holding to keep the magnet in place. So a couple ideas there. You could use plenty of other things for backing plates, but if you've already got that scrap laying around because you did speaker holes, hey, what does Carl always say? Obtainium, right? It's already laying there and you're probably just gonna throw it away. All right, well the next step up from these is these nice stainless steel ones that you can get from US Cargo. And they have this plate on them so that if you're sliding something in, it won't catch on it. And it has two bolt down holes, which gives you a little bit more power holding it down. But here's the problem. Stainless, this grade of stainless, isn't really magnetic. So I haven't solved this one. I really like these tie downs. I like that they're stainless. They look good. You can polish them if you want. But I haven't come up with an anti-rattle solution for these yet. These are really designed to go in the floor, like in a cargo trailer or something, it rattles so bad anyway, you never hear it. So I don't have a great solution for that. If you fall in love with these and you figure something out, post it up. That would be great. But I haven't come up with anything yet, other than I have tried just taking a little bit of hose and slitting it and putting it over that loop just to pad it a little bit. But then you got to replace it once a year because the UV eats up that hose. Maybe you don't have to replace it that often, but anyway, there are things out there. I just haven't found one that I really like. So I'm still going with this one where I'm using the backing plate with a 1-inch hole bored in it, the double stick tape, set the magnet down in the hole, drill your hole through the bed wall, through the backing plate, and I bolt that guy in with 1 bolt, and that does pretty well at keeping these guys from rattling. So here's one that I just put in. I don't know, you can't really tell from the, but that's holding on there pretty good. Those neodymium magnets are pretty significant. So, a couple ideas on tie downs. One last tie down idea I'll bring up because I did it on that first Mark IV Jetta, but it was purely by circumstance or coincidence or something. I just got lucky. I had a Yamaha jet ski that I was parting out, and it had these wonderful recessed cleats, stainless steel, little drain hose on it and everything. They were beautiful, and all you had to do was bore 2 little holes, and it had this nice backing plate. Those were really nice, but they're about 60 bucks a piece if you go to the boat store to buy one. They're recessed, so they pop in, they're spring loaded, you pull them out and hook your tie down strap on them. Really slick, and if you're doing a high dollar build anyway, you may want to consider those. They're out there, they're gorgeous, but I didn't want to spend 200 bucks, 300 bucks in tie down material. So that's out there as a high dollar option. They look fantastic, they'll wear forever because it's all stainless hardware provided with it. They're really nice, but it's just higher dollar than I wanted to go. So this is the cheap way that I've been going lately. It's been working out pretty well. By the time I spray that with some bed liner and with the magnet on it, you'll never hear it rattle in the cab. One last thing I will bring up, and I bring it up because I made the mistake when you're figuring out where to mount your D-rings, right? The first time I mounted them down almost right on the floor because it's nice to have some pull down on whatever you put into the bed. Be pulling it down. If you mount them up too high and you have something not that tall you're trying to strap down, right, it doesn't work out so well. Well, then I decided to use a 3/4 inch thick floor mat, and I had to cut unsightly little rings because they held these down from flapping, which was good, but you couldn't get the D-ring up to hook into it. So figure out what you're doing for the floor before you mount your D-rings, because you may cause yourself interference. I really like the horse stall mats. I've used them in just about everything but the Jeep. They're 40 bucks. I get it at Tractor Supply. It's 4x6 sheet. I measure it out, cut it to fit, and it's a 3/4 inch thick, heavy rubber. Wears very well. There's a couple different patterns you can get, but it may interfere with whatever you do for a flooring. It also, if you plan on doing the hinged bed floor, it may be a problem there because it's so heavy. You're really gonna have to pull to get that thing up. And if you do hydraulics, it may overpower the hydraulics, the weight of that. But having the weight in the bed really dampens any noise. You know, sometimes you get a little bit of oil cannon from the floor, and that rubber mat will dampen that very nicely. Anyway, my thoughts on the tie down or a couple of tie down options. Take them and leave them. If you got a better idea, post it in as always. Let's share all this stuff because we just keep getting better and better. Now I'm going to get to putting my fiberglass back on now that I got my tie downs in. Have a good day. Take care of each other.